stop him from getting to the Supreme Court till they pulled this out. We've got to take a break, folks. We're so freaking long. It's insane. When we come back, we'll talk about this lady's background that just didn't make the soundbite media. Stay tuned.
Don't move a muscle. The John LeBang Show. Right back.
With lots of fun and excitement. Yes. Pane in the Glass. Commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful, sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John LeBang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John LeBang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John LeBang Show. Now here's John.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging with me. I know sometimes these in-depth, focused reports by yours truly can be a lot to take in, and it's not the most entertaining. But there are times when you have to just say, the hell with entertaining, and let's get to the heart of the issue here. Now we're going to do a little discussion on Mrs. Ford and some of her ties, because this is not mainstream news either. In fact, a lot of it in recent days is being scrubbed from the internet. You don't believe me? Can't help you there. That's because you don't do enough research to go find this stuff out yourself. I'm going to report it to you, though. This professor, Mrs. Blasey Ford, she just happens to head up the CIA undergraduate internship program at Stanford University. Did you know that, ladies and gentlemen? This lady has ties to the CIA, the big state. The swamp. That's right, folks. Her brother, Ralph III, he used to work for an international law firm called Baker and Hostetler. Who are they? Well, they're the firm that created, wait for it, Fusion GPS. Those were the people behind the dossier, the Steele dossier, that got the FISA warrants, that got the Russian probe investigation going, that we later found out was paid for by the Clintons.
What difference at this point does it make?
I mean, the dossier was paid for by the Clintons, the Democrats. Those are very interesting tidbits, aren't they? Found out a lot about that Fusion GPS dossier there by Steele. Most of it wasn't based on much fact. We'll say that. Also, Baker Hostetler is located in the same building, coincidentally, of course, where the CIA operates 3 companies called Redcoats, Inc., Admiral Security Services, and Data Watch. They are operated by Ralph Blasey. He is the father of, guess who? Christine Blasey Ford and Ralph III. Christine and Ralph, their grandfather was Nicholas Deak, and former CIA Director William Casey acknowledged leaks decades of service in the CIA. Now, isn't that interesting? Why isn't that background being investigated, I wonder, by the mainstream soundbite media?
Are you stupid or something?
Can you understand that, ladies and gentlemen? Why are they only trying to rip apart Kavanaugh and not looking into this lady who is now, everything is public about her because of Dianne Feinstein and the Democrats? You smell a rat. Now, Mrs. Blasey Ford has a husband, Russell Ford. They met at Stanford University and were married in 2002. They have 3 young children. Russell Ford is the senior director at Zanzo Pharma and exclusively specializes in, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Mind-altering drugs. The plot thickens, doesn't it? Russell deleted his Facebook account and removed his name from his company's website. All recently, of course. Imagine that. He deals with mind-altering drugs. And Christine is a CIA internship recruiter for Stanford. Now, keep in mind, her 4 or 2 boys statement was in 2012, but in 2018, it changed to 2 guys. And what was she and her husband in therapy for, I wonder? Now, she claims to have passed an FBI polygraph, but she already works for a CIA-funded program, ladies and gentlemen. Her father, Ralph G. Blasey Jr., is a lifelong CIA operative since the 1960s and currently provides public security to all deep state officials under criminal investigation today. And her brother worked for a Fusion GPS-linked firm. How can one trust an FBI polygraph when there's so much conflict in the organization? But this is just the start, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's add this to the equation. Martha G. Kavanaugh, the mother of Brett Kavanaugh, was a Maryland district judge in 1996. In an amazing coincidence, Martha Kavanaugh was the judge in a foreclosure case in which Christine Blasey Ford's parents were the defendants. The plot continues to thicken. So is it possible that Blasey Ford is going after Kavanaugh not because of what happened in high school all those years ago, but instead is she going after him out of spite and revenge for a case ruled on by his mother during the 1996 foreclosure case? Brett's mother was Montgomery County Circuit Court judge from 93 until she retired in 2001. Now let's move over to some GPS connections. Working for the law firm Baker Hostetler for 15 years as a litigations partner, that retained Fusion GPS, the primary fixer for the Clinton and DNC dossier. You remember that? We talked about that. Now, in January of 2011, Yahoo Finance explained the role Baker Hostetler played in the deep state's attempts to bring down the duly elected President of the United States. And how did Hostetler become a supporting character in the geopolitical drama over Russian meddling in the United States and the possible implications on the fate of the Trump administration? To put it simply, the firm was tapped beginning in at least 2013 to defend a company called Prevezin Holdings Ltd. against their money laundering accusations. Natalia Velenskaya, I hope I pronounced that correctly, the Russian lawyer who met Donald Trump Jr. in June 2016, reportedly with the intent to provide information damaging to Hillary Clinton's campaign, was also working for Preversion and Fusion GPS, the company that produced the infamous Steele dossier on President Donald Trump and Russia. And that dossier was also retained by Baker Hostetler and the Perversion Group. It's really Perversion, but I'm going to call them the Perversion Group because they're perverting everything. Now let's get into her father. Ralph Jr. has been a lifelong CIA member, like we've said, and involved in black ops budgets and deep state security. His entire CIA and deep state past spans 40 years, and he's been involved personally with the top DC elites, including John Brennan, Robert Mueller, James Comey, Susan Rice, so on. And he's doing it to this day. His current position remains secure as VP of Business Development at Redcoats. Isn't that an interesting name for a company? CIA-backed company. Isn't that interesting? Now, her father's past position as a proven CIA operative, who from 1962 to 1974 was the vice president of National Savings and Trust of Washington, more deep state stuff, best known for being 100 paces from the White House, and whom in 1998 was taken over by SunTrust Bank, whose majority share owner is a CIA-linked investment fund, BlackRock. Now, the importance of noting this CIA banking connection of Robert G. Blasey Jr. is due to the outbreak of what is known as a CIA bank war, and whose start of, in 1998, a CIA seized from publication news report declassified in part, sanitized copy approved, describes as, "This is Wall Street, the center of the international banking system, a system on the edge of crisis so severe, the CIA is preparing drastic measures. Something must be done to avert the breakdown of the free world's monetary system." The main CIA operative involved in this war, and whom Ralph G. Blasey Jr. reported to, was Nicholas Deak, a longtime OSS and CIA operative, both during and after World War II, who ran the CIA's main black budget projects under the direct command of the feared CIA intelligence chief James Jesus Angston. We've got to take a break, folks. More on the flip side of this. Hopefully, you're learning something. Be right back.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Because the John LeBang Show will be right back.
After this. That's guaranteed. Yes.
Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Join the radio revolution right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man. Yes, I would like some too.
I know we went to break a little early. That's abnormal around here. Usually we're going on for a long time before we decide to take that break. I didn't want to get into her background any further. I think that was enough for most of you to take in. You can do further research on your own. One of the good places, one of the people who brought this information to light was a website called Before It's News. But it's all information that you can look up yourself and find out that it's accurate. And the reason I brought it up was only to show that this lady has connections to the deep state. And it's been very clear through many independent investigators, because the mainstream manufactured soundbite media avoids the deep state connection. So you have to look at the alternative media or the independent media, or as Michael Savage just dubbed, the underground media. In this last segment, I want to focus on a few things. We have some more sound bites for you, but before we get to those sound bites, where is this all going? What has happened? We all know that now it's all been postponed at least another week because the FBI, ordered by Trump, suggested by Dianne Feinstein and the entire left-wing part of that committee, and Mr. Flaker over there, he's turning in to be John McCain Part 2, the Flaker. His name's Flake, but I think we're going to call him the Flaker. Decided he didn't have enough information, even though he said he was going to vote yes for Kavanaugh to be confirmed. He just wanted to hold it off another week. And what's going to happen in that week is the FBI is going to tell us that there is not enough time to conclude an investigation into this. Needless to say, I don't know why the FBI has jurisdiction over this particular investigation. it should have happened many years ago in Chevy Chase or whatever town. If it happened to the young lady, she should